Hello, welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Trials and Tribulations. It's me, A. Proustian, and it's been almost a week since I recorded. Let's see if I can remember what is going on. All right. Oh, yeah, Godot and Phoenix just had this huge back and forth about how Ron must have been unconscious or he would have heard the alarm. He clearly didn't hear the alarm because he stuck around for 10 minutes hiding the body. I remember. Fine. Let's hear your theory. Recall the defendant's testimony. The moment he entered the victim's office, someone attacked him. Mr. Delight said he felt dazed. I'm willing to wager that he was knocked unconscious for at least a few minutes. Unconscious? So he fainted? And that's why Mr. Delight didn't know that the buzzer had sounded. And that's why he thought he had time to hide the body. So what are you trying to say? Mr. Delight was knocked out, and the buzzer went off soon afterwards. Now, unless my client was able to hit the buzzer while he was unconscious, it can only mean there was another person in that room. That's right. Whoever it was, they knocked out Ron Delight and then pressed the buzzer. Oh, they were trying to get him caught, probably at the moment, but then Larry's terrible at his job and didn't show up. It's kind of amazing. Order in the court. Mr. Wright, this is... This is preposterous. It was this kid. Ron Delight is the one who killed Kane Bullard. And then who pressed the buzzer? It was the victim, of course. He pressed the buzzer when the defendant attacked him. He didn't die right away. He must have held on long enough to push that button. So Kane Bullard sounded the buzzer himself? What's your opinion on this, Mr. Wright? I don't like it. There were no fingerprints. He would have left fingerprints. Yeah, I need to prove that the real criminal was there at the scene. But how? Can I prove that it wasn't Kane Bullard who sounded the buzzer? I'm gonna say I can prove it. Let's see if I can. The defense's opinion is this, Your Honor. This piece of evidence proves that it wasn't the victim who sounded the buzzer. I think it's that there are no fingerprints. I really hope I'm right. Yeah. I believe this is the piece of incontrovertible evidence you were looking for. The emergency buzzer? Is there some kind of clue on it? Absolutely not. Hey, come on now. At least give some thought to what you say before opening your mouth. The fact that there are absolutely no clues is itself a clue. Exactly. No, I'm the one who's clueless. Listen, Judge. Always. This button has no fingerprints on it. If Mr. Bullard had really pressed it himself, naturally, he would have left his fingerprints behind. The spit take. Perfect. Perfect timing. Ron Delight obviously wiped them off. He didn't know the buzzer went off. Right? Why would he? A guard could have come in at any moment. He touched that button. I know he did. You do not. The defendant, Mr. Delight, was dressed as Masked Mask. And Masked Mask always wears gloves. What reason could he possibly have had to wipe the button free of fingerprints? That's a good point. Order, order, order. Ha, it would seem. I've been forced to eat crow. I wonder what blend number crow flavored coffee is. However, if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency buzzer? I think they're trying to frame Ron. Shouldn't they have run away without putting themselves in extra danger? Don't be like that! What's with this awkward silence all of a sudden? Ha! Looks like you're fresh out of parlor tricks. They're on to you, Nick. Just give me a minute to collect my thoughts. The real culprit killed Mr. Bullard at around 1 a.m. And Mr. Delight just happened to waltz in when the murder was taking place, right? The killer clobbered Mr. Delight, then sounded the buzzer. Even though security was supposed to respond right away if the buzzer was pressed. Security was supposed to respond? Time's up, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you have to say. Very well, then. Oh, you've got some guts. I like that in an opponent. Why did the real killer sound the emergency buzzer? I think it was to call the security guard. I think they're trying to frame Ron. The killer knew that if they pressed that button, a guard would come running. And that was exactly what they wanted. Do you mean to say the killer called the guard on purpose? Yes, although as it turned out, he never showed up. Because he was getting his clock cleaned at the time. Ha, what a touching story. You're saying the killer had a change of heart and called the guard to turn himself in? No. No, I'm not. When that buzzer sounded, there were 3 people in that office. The victim, Cain Bullard, who's already dead. The defendant, Ron Delight, who was out cold. And the third person, the real killer. Hypothetically, yes. Now then, in this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? The only ones left in the room would be the victim and Ron Delight. And if any security guards come running in at that time, they would think that I was the murderer. Yeah. However, we think it anyways, so, or at least the court system does. Yes, that was precisely the real killer's objective. To frame Ron Delight for the murder. Yep. Oh, what's that smug smile about? Okay. He had to prep for the spit take. Order, order, order. Ha. It would seem I've been made to eat my words once again. Actually, I've been made to do a spit take with a cup of coffee. Mr. Wright, who was it? Who was it that tried to frame me? Wait. Wait a second. I'm the one and only Master Mask, so... Nick, you mean the real killer is... Yeah, we're gonna drag that person in here right now. But who is it? I don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. The killer knew Mr. Delight's identity, and they also knew that he had been called to KB security that night. So the killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder Cain Bullard. Now then, let's hear your accusation, Mr. Wright. Who was it that framed Mr. Ron Delight for the murder of Cain Bullard? Well, considering they've shown me his silhouette a few times, I'm going to go with Luke Atmey, an ace detective who has acknowledged he is in fact Master Mask, so he does seem to be the one behind the plans, at least. Detective Luke Atmey. He is the only one who could have done it. Ace detective? Luke Atmey? You mean Mask to Mask did it? Your Honor, the person being tried in the court next to us is not mask to mask at all. He is, in actuality, the true murderer of Cain Bullard. Order, order. Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Theft and murder. Which is the more serious crime? They're not even close. Murder is the more serious crime, of course. It's a capital crime subject to capital punishment. Please remember the trial from yesterday, if you would. When Luke Atmey confessed, there was a huge commotion in the courtroom. Of course, a famous detective was unmasked as mask to mask. Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny. That was his true objective all along. To be found guilty? Mask to Mask had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. Yeah, exactly. He was stealing the urn at Lordly Taylor. In other words, being found guilty as Mask to Mask was Luke Atmey's airtight, watertight, and unassailable alibi. A guilty verdict? As an alibi? I love how affronted the judge is. You know, it's almost time. For what? For Luke Atmey's verdict. It was a pretty simple trial, after all. If we're going to stop this trial and stall that one, we need to do that now. Of course, that's assuming you have proof that the detective was the one who committed the murder. I mean, what's a little proof between friends? Mr. Luke Atmey's trial has indeed attracted the attention of the entire country. If we were to intrude and fail to provide adequate proof of his true crime, Mr. Delight would be left with no grounds for appeal. Am I really sure about this? Ha! A bet's only good when your life's the ante. Mr. Wright, I believe in you. Thanks, Ron. Mr. Delight. So, please, I'm begging you. Thanks, but my decision will determine the rest of your life. Can I really risk your life like this? Phoenix. Huh. What was that? That was Mia. Don't stray, Phoenix. For your client, take the path of trust. That voice, it sounds like Mia. Your Honor, the defense requests an immediate recess. Ha. So that's your answer, huh? Very well, I've decided as well. This court will now take a 20-minute recess. Mr. Wright, when we return, please summon Mr. Luke Atmey to the stand. Yes, Your Honor. All right. October 14th, 11:58 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 5. Ah, this asshole. All right, hi, Payne. Well, sir, Detective Atmey. I have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly. Oh no, Sir Detective Atmey. You were the one who... Ah! Oh no! That was like a literal jump scare. The blonde. With hair. But it's terrible. Oh my god. Okay. I can't take this judge seriously. I can't take our judge seriously either, but like, oh my god. Okay, no, I could do this. I gotta pull myself together. That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial. This court finds the defendant, Luke Atmey. Uh-oh. Wait! Don't hand down your verdict yet, please. Well, well, Sir Lawyer, welcome to my courtroom. Who's this hoser, eh? Is this supposed to be Canadian? My name is Phoenix Wright, attorney at law, and I wish to file an accusation against this man, Luke Atmey. Accusation? You accuse Mask to Mask? That man is not Mask to Mask. He's just a ruthless murderer. What? Oh no, he was so close. To be continued. October 14th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 4. My sis? I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice. So then she's still alive, inside your heart. Nicky boy. Oh, Ms. Delight. Is it true that Detective is the real killer? To be honest, we don't have any definite proof. But he's the only one who could have done it. But wasn't he at Lordly Taylor that night? Not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atmey want to kill Kane Bullard? Oops, it's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. I need to find some solid proof. And it's gotta happen sooner rather than later. Yeah, it does. I think it's gonna have to do something to do with Atmey and or Kane Bullard being the ones who are like planning Mask to Mask's crimes, selling the stuff. Like it could be something like that. Now then, this court is back in session. Mr. Luke Atmey, please take the stand. Well, well, how do you do, Sir Lawyer? I never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly. I couldn't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when it would have given you your perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of Mask to Mask. I'm sorry. I'm afraid even the great Luke Atmey has no idea what you mean. Of course, I have been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I'm afraid there's no way I could know what's been going on in here. You've been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as Mask to Mask? Indeed, it's truly child's play to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example. So you continue to insist that you are, in fact, Mask to Mask? Of course. Very well then, Luke Atmey. Let us begin with this simple question. On October 12th at 1 a.m., Kane Bullard was murdered. Where were you at that time? One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge. Thanks? Alright, Mr. Atmey, the night of the murder. Speak. We're all ears. As you wish, Sir Prosecutor. The alibi. I was stealing the urn as Mask to Mask, just as I announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Mask to Mask was the same time as the murder. Seems the main point of discussion will be this photo of the crime scene. Everything else up until now was all part of his plan. There has to be a secret to this picture as well. Well, yeah, the box already was broken and had paint on it. That box does not. That's not the real urn. Even the great mask to mask cannot be in two places at once. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to receive. Unfortunately, Mr. Atmey, we still have to do your cross-examination. A fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool. I think he's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick. The only thing that's full of it is his alibi. Alright, cross-examination. Stealing the urn, just as I announced I would. So this photograph is the proof, correct? Indeed it is. And the man in the photo is certainly wearing a mask. And that is why I'm called Mask to Mask. But conveniently, that also means there's no way to tell who it really is. What do you mean? Judge, what do you mean, what do you mean? This is like the third or fourth time we've had somebody, like, in some kind of mask or costume. And so who we think it is isn't who it actually is.
Objection.
Ha! Are you saying that this is not, in fact, Luke Atmey? That it could be an accomplice dressed up as Mask to Mask to create an alibi? Yeah, I just don't know who the accomplice would be. Oh ho, what an interesting idea. Are you saying that I, Lone Wolf Luke, had an accomplice? I mean, I've kind of been assuming so, but I don't know who that person would be. I think that actually maybe it's more likely he doctored the photo. Even though I still think it's absurd to think that this guy's face fits in that mask. I'm gonna give it up. If Luke Atmey was at KB Security during the murder, then the mask to mask in this picture has to be a fake. Then there really was an accomplice. Yeah, but right now I have no idea who it is. I don't have any idea right now either. Baseless objections are just what that guy wants. There's got to be another way, and I'm gonna find it. Yeah, it still could be an accomplice. I don't know. Pathetically easy job, he says. I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point. That's right. That was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. You sent the calling card to Lord Lee Taylor 10 days before the heist. That would mean you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right? Indeed. There was no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. It was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target. I see. Truly are evil, aren't you? Yes, evil is what I am. Hey, Nick, is there something odd about this? Detective Atmey was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if the urn was stolen from Lord Lee Taylor while he was the only one watching it, he'd have no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona. That's true. You know, that's true. It is kind of odd. Huh. So what does that mean? Alright, the photograph is his witness. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here. Is that correct? Indeed it is. That is it. The very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing that proves you committed the crime. When you think about it, it's really odd. You say that almost as if you had this picture taken on purpose.
Objection.
He was simply caught by the very camera that he had set up. Yeah, which he would know about, obviously. We all have days like that. Sure. Indeed, it turned out that there was no such thing as the perfect crime after all. Life is truly an ironic thing. A sad blue melody. Looks like I'd better gather more information for now. If he's truly the killer, there's gotta be something phony in that photo. Yeah, I think that's about the box. That's my best guess. Time the camera captured the mask-to-mask, same time as the murder. About the camera that took this photograph. Oh, come now. It's all too clear what you were thinking. Huh? You think I altered the timestamp on the photograph, don't you? I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lordly Taylor, and on top of that, it was Lordly Taylor's staff that printed that picture's data. Unfortunately for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered. I see. Looks like I'd better find something else that could be suspicious. So this alibi is false. It has to be, or he couldn't have killed Mr. Bullard at KB Security. But I'm not really spotting anything unusual. There are two possibilities. Either the mask-to-mask in the photo is a fake, or the photo itself is. Yeah, and I think it's the photo itself. So let's go to that. Here. Alright, I'm going to present. But what do I present? So this I want to look at. This is the thing. It's got to be with the urn. The paint marks. Maybe I present this, the wooden box with the pink paint stains. No, that didn't count. Okay. What if I present the photograph itself to say something's wrong with it, right? Can I do that? No. Okay, one more try, then I'm gonna look it up. This? No. I really thought this was gonna be the thing, so I'm gonna have to check and see. I don't know if it's the right thing at the wrong place or if I'm just totally way off on this. Oh. I just saw the header. I didn't even see the hint. I just saw the question that says, what should be visible in the picture instead of the paint? And that is the statue. Okay. The statue should have been there. See if this does it. No? What? Okay, then I gotta look at the... I'll look at the actual hint then. Fine. I feel like I know things are going wrong. I just... Oh. I need to press all the statements twice before anything will happen. I kind of hate that, like... I don't know. It's like... I feel like I've already done the thing. I've already pressed it. And there are a lot of times where you have to press things again, and I just forget that that's an option. I'm just ready to present stuff. Alright, let's press these again. I'm not sure if I'm ready to name an accomplice. I'm still gonna give it up and press the other stuff. I can come back to it. Okay. You mean this? Oh, surely you understand by now. Lordly Taylor provided that camera. There's no way I could have tampered with it. That means I could not have killed Cain Bullard, unless I had an accomplice. Come on, think long and hard about that night. The basement warehouse, and this picture that supposedly captures it. It's gotta be here. Is there something funny about this picture? You bet there is. Are you implying that this picture is a fake? You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. We took a look around the basement warehouse that night, before the theft took place. And there's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night. Very well then, let's hear what you have to say. What about this photograph do you find funny? The paint. The funny part is right here. Why, this is a blood stain. Ah, blood! Now this case is getting interesting. Bloodthirsty much judge. Not exactly. This stain is actually pink paint. Oh, just paint. And peach colored that. From blood to peaches, the judge sure loves going on his wild tangents. The problem with the photograph is not the paint. The problem is when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse. It turns out that something that should be there is nowhere to be seen. Uh-oh. Like, did he take it on a different night? This picture? Is there time for that? Well, Mr. Wright? What's supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stains? Here we go, the statue. The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime, around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it. So maybe he got that picture taken the night before. I myself was there the night the theft took place, and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then that statue should have been there.
Objection.
But when I went there the day after the theft, the statue of the old bag was sitting in the corner. Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally? Your Honor, this statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. It would take more than an accidental push to move it that distance. Ah, in that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme and reason as to why that statue was moved that night? Oh shit, can I? Can you do it, Nick? Never mind who moved it. The real question is, why did they move it? That is a good question. Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you're prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one who moved the golden statue on the night of the crime? I mean... I don't think it'd be... Shit, I don't know. Adrian wouldn't have moved it. I don't know why anyone would have moved it. Okay, I guess it'd have to be Luke Atmey. Maybe. Let me go back to the hints. Who is the person that was even in the warehouse on the night of the crime? Well, I guess it's Luke Atmey. Yeah. So it has to be him, I guess. And the one who moved the statue is none other than Luke Atmey. Come now, Sir Lawyer. There you go again on one of your strange delusions. Mr. Wright, what basis do you have for your strange delusions? Hey, don't buy into Luke Atmey's framing here. It's very simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. That is indeed very simple. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue? Well, he did take the sword out of it. The reason for moving the golden statue. Here's where our battle really begins. Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move that statue? The reason can be found here in this photograph. Huh? Look at me. You pretended to be Mask to Mask. To create an alibi by showing you were at Lordly Taylor that night. But this photograph contains a single fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like cheap film at a drugstore. Why? Oh, was the sword bent already? That's why you had to move the statue. A single fatal flaw? Interesting theory. Please enlighten us. Where in this picture does this lie exist? I don't know. Oh, this is a big one, too. It's worth 3 bars of health. Is it the box? Why would he have to move the statue? I was saying the box with the paint, but this, like, means you'd really want it to have the paint. Okay. Let me think. Alright, so the first thing says it isn't the paint again. Yeah, I didn't think so. My guess here is the box. You know what, before I even look at any more hints, I'm just going to present the box and see if I'm right. The lie is Mask to Mask. Oh. Sure, so anywhere on this guy. Are you saying this Mask to Mask is a fake? Ha! You know, I really wish you would start acting more responsibly. Huh? The current question is, why was the golden statue moved? So what possible connection could there be with Mask to Mask's identity? Could this be like a action figure? Could it be something with scale? Oh, buggers. Your face has "oh, buggers" written all over it. That's a penalty for you. What? Oh, I was wrong. Damn, I thought I was right. Okay, let me reload. So if it's not Mask to Mask, and it's not the paint, is it the time? But I thought we couldn't fake the time. Naturally, the lie in this photo is the timestamp. What do you mean? I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Luke Atmey went to KB Security and murdered Kane Bullard. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been at Lordly Taylor at this time. Okay, yes, but I thought we said that he couldn't fudge the timestamp. What does that have to do with the statue being moved? Remember, if you will, Your Honor. When was this statue placed besides the warehouse door? Oh, like if it's the day before, the night before, the statue was there. Well, the statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime. And it was placed there in order to cover up the paint. Exactly. Luke Atmey had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim. Yeah, that makes sense, because he would have sent the blackmail letters to Ron in order to set him up. So he had it all planned out around 1 a.m. And so, in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place. Yeah, that's what I thought. He would have taken it ahead of time. What the? Of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet. Ah. So, on the day of the crime, Mr. Atmey must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down and placed where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Luke Atmey had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match the way it had been in his photo. That makes sense. Wah! Order. Mr. Atmey, is this true? One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this? What's that? The data for the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime. It's true that the camera had been set up by the Lordly Taylor staff. However, the program used to manage that data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data. Order. Mr. Godot, what is the meaning of this? Godot, I warned you about making me wait. Now put that coffee down. My 11th cup. I've promised to drink no more than 17 during a trial. Which means I'm still good to the last drop. How does he not have to, go pee every 10 minutes? I mean, I'm just saying, that is so much coffee. However, the defense has a very good point. A good point? So what? We are all but travelers on a road of infinite points. I think he's got his points mixed up with his other points? So you say this photograph was taken ahead of time, and that the statue was moved in order to make it match. That's a very interesting idea. However, there's one point that can't be denied, which is that it's only a possibility. Men that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams. That's very true. No way, don't fall for that, Your Honor. Hey, Mr. Damask. Yes? If there's no funny business in your actions as Master Damask, there should be no problem with you telling us your strategy. So let's hear it. Yes, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn. The sacred urn heist. Okay. I first received the request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box at Svari. It was then sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th. That's pretty much all stuff we've heard before, isn't it? Yeah, but we will find the truth hidden in the nuggets of new information he gave. Witness, you're sure there are no mistakes this time? Svari. Very well then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Okay. I first received the request about 20 days ago. You were asked to guard the urn by Ms. Adrian Andrews, is that right? Indeed. It seemed that they had heard of my sparkling reputation. What a word. See, Ms. Andrews is still attracting the weirdos. Yeah. You better watch out too, Maya. What? Anyways, the urn was placed in a box, and Svari, it was then sent to the warehouse. You mean this box? Yes, that pathetic box. Lady Andrews was especially taken with that urn. And she wouldn't let anyone enter the storeroom, not even me. Huh, interesting new tidbit. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. So you're sure that you had never seen the urn before? Indeed. You may ask Lady Andrews to confirm for yourself. My security was focused entirely on the entrance to that warehouse. However, I, Luke Atmey, let no information whatsoever slip through my fingers. Sent my card 10 days beforehand. You mean this calling card? That's right. That is, without a doubt, my calling card. I guess Mr. Delight didn't make this after all. Of course, because Atmey knew about the emblem. Making this card authentic would have been child's play for him. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time. Oh wait, did I miss one? I did. Forgot what I was doing. Then no one entered the basement warehouse? Unfortunately, there were many different treasures being taken there. Thus, for a period of approximately 5 days, people were indeed going in and out of the warehouse. Okay, and then at last... And this is the photo that proves that, huh? Indeed. To be honest, even if a photo was taken, I didn't think it would matter terribly much. Hey, Nick, if this photo is a fake, Detective Atmey might have stolen the urn whenever this was taken. That's true. You know, he's been saying he never saw the urn until that night. If we could prove that he's lying there, we can wrap this up and put a bow on it. I need to take a good hard look at the court record. Not a lot to go on, is there? Well, let me look at it. I mean, there's the poster. I'm not sure if that counts as seeing it. The speckled urn. Oh, this is 10 days before. It's not speckled here. It's speckled later. Okay, I think I've got him. That detective's been covering his tracks. There's only one thing we need to prove in this cross-examination. That he took this photo well before the actual night of the crime. Alright then, how do we do that? There's one thing that Atmey stated very clearly. That he had never seen the urn before he stole it. We need to prove that he's lying. Yeah, I think I can. Okay, so here I'm going to present the calling card.
Objection!
Mr. Atmey, if you really are mask to mask, and then you also wrote this calling card, correct? But of course. Is there a problem with that calling card? Allow me to read a passage from the calling card that Mask to Mask had written. Take good care of this speckled urn. Now the speckled here surely refers to this pink pattern on the sacred urn. Yes, that is true, but so what? Truth to be told, there's no way that Mask to Mask could have known about this pattern. What do you mean? This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains. Paint stains? And those stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lordly Taylor. I'm not finding this joke to be very funny, Mr. Trite. The day that the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, the urn was broken due to human error, or should I say an error-prone human. That's when the pink paint got on the urn. Ugh, you can't be serious. And yet this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern. Which means Detective Atmey had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken. Fool! And because this photo is a fake, your alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water. Blah! Hell yeah. A witness, do you have anything to say for yourself? Well, we will have to find out the next time because I am out of time. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye!